Good morning, afternoon, evening, or whatever time it is you're watching. Welcome to MamaG Gear, and it's MamaG here. And we're going to work it today. I want to show you a few FOs and some WIPs. Alrighty, first, thought I would show you what I did on Thursday, this past Thursday. Thriss from Thriss and Stitches does live yarn dyes. Okay, so every time I watch, I'm like, I really want to do that. And so this week I did. And they're nowhere near as beautiful as hers because I don't know what I'm doing. And of course, I have no patience, so they probably should have stayed in the dye longer than they did. But these two, I had hoped to get these to be similar so that they could be made into a pair of socks. Let me slide those over. This yarn is from Nomad, and it's latte, and the latte is 100% baby alpaca. It's 100 grams, 291 yards, 267 meters. It's a 3-ply sport weight, okay? And what I did was in the pan, and I'll try to pop in the pictures of it in the pan dyeing, and I'm going to unhank it for you. What happened was they just didn't come out even. This is not animal fur. This is actually the alpaca fur. So, though everything on my arms is actual animal fur. But what I did was I laid them out in the pan with the water and the acid, and I had soaked them in for vinegar and the whole nine. What I think you're supposed to do anyway. But they didn't come out even, and I put the powder, jacquard powder dye, acid dye, in rows in the pan so I can get the variations of, I think it was 5 different purples that I put in there. But as you could see, they didn't all, like this one here, we got a lot more of the lighter and less of the darker, where this one here, this one came out really beautiful because there's even some purples in here with the dark, and a lot of the lot less areas of just the faded purple. So I don't know if these would work for a pair of socks, because clearly this, if you did one sock here and one sock there with this hank, this is going to have a lot more light color to it. So I'm not quite sure how to fix it. In the comments, if you have any suggestions, should I maybe re-dye this, over dye it, or maybe you could do half of this skein for half the foot of a sock, and this is for another half a foot of the sock. But I did really love how this turned out. It's dark and also has like almost a burgundy purple. I don't know if that's a color or not. But anyway, those are the two sport weights. I won't hank them right now because I want to get on to the other things. But yeah, those two. Yeah, and if you could give me an idea what you think, I'm really at a loss of that. So we have those two, and let me stick them up here. These two, super awesome yarn. Again, what I did was I had the pan. It's like a regular pan, long rectangular. And as I was getting ready to take the sock yarn out, or the fingering weight yarn, sport weight, let's get it right, sport weight yarn out, I was putting these in what was left of the yarn. What happened here is very similar to the other ones. If you notice, this one, the shade of purple is gorgeous. And now this came in mystery boxes from Kramer's, I believe, with the undyed yarn, and I am digging this yarn. I need to find out what kind of yarn this is, because I will definitely repurchase this. It has a beautiful stretch to it. It's like a chain. I don't even know what you would call that. It's not quite a homespun, but it's a lot tighter than the homespun. There's not a lot of halo. There's give in the yarn. Totally digging this yarn. Would love to know what it is. Again, if you do know what it is, you know, you guys know a lot more about the yarn than I do. So if you do know what yarn this is, please let me know, because I definitely want to purchase more. Again, with these two, actually, now that they're open, it doesn't look quite as bad. But this has more of a blue hue, and this kind of took the different color purples. So what soaked up in either of these was a little different purples. Not too bad. I mean, you wouldn't necessarily be making socks out of this. Oh, this is roving, I'm just noticing. You wouldn't really make socks out of this, maybe a hat or a scarf. So I think that if you put one and then just tie it into the other one, I think that that would look fine. But that's my opinion, and maybe you would disagree, and that's fine. But anyway, so yeah, they were fun. I really enjoyed, it was fun to dye along with Thriss. Of course, hers, like I said, hers, she knows what she's doing. She knows all the technical stuff. I was just not measuring anything, throwing things in, letting it sit for whenever. And again, I don't have much patience, so I didn't, you know, they didn't strike quite as well. But I do like making them where it's not all just one straight color. One reason, because I just like it that way, because you have variation, and another reason is because I don't know how to make them all one color. So I'm going to have to pick Thriss's brains and ask her how the heck to do that to make the hank all the same color. All right, so I'll just twist that one and we'll do this one later. Okay, what else have I been up to? Well, let's just do a real quickie here. I just want to show you, we have been getting, I got to make careful not to show you the addresses, but we had done that video about the little girl Sophie. Ooh, I have to put a smiley face on that, boo-boo. I didn't mean to show the address. Sophie is a little girl who lives in Pennsylvania. I do not know her personally. Rusty, I believe, knows the mother. And the class is doing postcards from anywhere, just as a class assignment, a school assignment. So we had thought we'd reach out and ask if you guys would be so kind as to maybe send a postcard, or even if you can't, I mean, I guess postcards are hard to find. You could even rip like a card that's about this size of the postcard, I guess, and just write on the back of it and throw a stamp on it. And write down something positive or encouraging for the kids. They're about 10 to 12 years old. I apologize, I haven't updated the information on her class grade and ages. Yeah, or something about your area. I mean, this would be nice to, you know, not only just get all these really cool postcards, but also to have it be a little history and also uplifting and encouraging comments and statements. So anyway, a couple of you guys have sent some cards in. There might be some more in the post office. I haven't been there in a little bit. And also some really super people have actually sent things. This, I mean, I'm curious as heck to know what's in these guys, and thank you so absolutely so much for that. And what we're going to do is continue to collect them, and then if you do want to do this, just send it to our P.O. box. It's 621 P.O. Box 621, Wayland, New York, and 14527. I'll put it in the description box below. So yeah, it'd be super. And without getting too into it, I think it's super special for Sophie. Make the card out for Sophia. I kept saying Sophie because I'm getting confused with the Sophie Universe, a gorgeous blanket. It's Sophia is her name, and write her name on there. I think receiving these are going to help her with her classmates. You know what I'm saying without saying it. You know what I'm saying? Some people can be mean. Kids could be mean. Anyway, what else did I do? Here's an FO. Whoop-de-doo. But this FO is made out of yarn that I had purchased a while back because we are doing the Shop My Stash, hashtag Shop My Stash 2023. There's a lot of other hashtags going around. This particular hashtag is from Dory Did It, and I am shopping my stash. So I did have a 10 pack of this yarn, and I thought I did give some, I put some in the mystery boxes because this yarn is really cool. And I'm assuming this is blacklight friendly, possibly reflective. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But it is Lova, and I have marked on here 2 of 2, and I made a hat on the date. I'm going to try to keep the tags and whatnot for this year. Let's try to pronounce this word. Shachenmeyer. Okay, that's my attempt, and I'm not going to do it again. It's a 6 weight, and it's machine washable. Oh, here we go. It's acrylic. So it's acrylic. Oh, and there's a little wool in there and some polyamide. Yeah, so it took 2, and super thick, super stretchy. Just did the half double crochets for the brim, and then did half double crochets throughout the rest of the hat to give it a little bit of thickness and more warmth. So yeah, I really enjoyed working with this. It was fun, it was quick, and very thick yarn and super soft. So very happy with this yarn. Another FO I have shown you before, but this is I've got to take a picture of it and send it over to Erin at KRAFTINKITTY, because the spotlight creator of the month is, did I just pull a blank? Hooked by Robin. Okay, Hooked by Robin. And this is the block stitch shawl. It's gorgeous. And excuse the hair, it's probably cat hair or dog hair. And I did play yarn chicken and lost in the manner that I was going to make this the short triangular scarf, and I didn't have enough because I really wanted to do the picot edge. So I did have another skein of this yarn or cake, and I went, grabbed it, and used up the cake. What I used on here is the Spun Color by Premier, 419 yards. It's a 4 weight, 65 acrylic, 35 fine superwash merino, and the colorway of this is Twilight. Really, really pretty. And I'm going to try to take a picture of it on one of my mannequins. I did go through 2 balls, and all that I had left, I won at Yarn Chicken. Yes. So, very excited about that, and that is keeping the tags. And I figure on the ball bands, I'm writing one of however many ball bands I've used, and the month that I made the item and what item I made, because I don't remember, and I'm not a very organized person. So I figured that would work the best for me. So that shawl is done. Still need to do a picture for Erin, and anybody I mention I'll tag below, okay? And another item that I was kind of trying to do a tutorial on, and I haven't gotten much farther, is the granny stitch. But I want to make, I've got several of them. They're still attached to their balls. And that's a good thing. It's always good. If you have balls, it is good to be attached to them. Anyway, I apologize for that. And what I'm going to do is a long rectangular wrap. I'm going to attach them together, and then as I trim that out, I'm going to do a collar on the wrap. I did that before, and in another, I didn't film it because this is back before I was really paying attention to doing things, you know. Here's the right side of the granny stitch. and the other one I made before I was like actually filming what I was doing. So I'm trying to do this as a tutorial. So that's another WIP that's going on. Let's keep this rolling. And I did not finish my mother-in-law's red sweater. That poor woman. Her birthday's the beginning of February. We're going down. She'll be 80. So I'm just going to bring it down to her then. And because I want to do a hat and warmies. You guys call them fingerless gloves. So I'm going to, oh, and I did have a hat for this, slouchy hat. But anyway, I will work on that. I didn't bring that over because I don't even want to look at it right now. What I'm making, and I am having an absolute blast with this one, is the hexagon granny. This is going to be one of those Dee from Dee's Creative Hands Crochet made one. I fell absolutely in love with it, and I'm making my attempt. I'm using a different tutorial than she did because I will write down when I figure it out. I will write down who and give credit to the person. I believe this tutorial is like maybe 10 years old from whoever did this. But I'm doing them simultaneously, and I will drop her down because I don't remember, and I didn't look before this, so my bad. Okay, so what the difference is between the one that I'm doing and the one that Dee did is that let's just bring it all over here. So this is my tote that I keep because I try to keep things out of the animals area. I knew I was going to love this so much that I did break into my Mandela tweed stripes. This is the Cat's Eye colorway because you know how much I love the tweed stripes. They're discontinued, break my heart. And I'm also using the main color for in between each row, the red heart, and I believe, frosty green. Okay, so I'm alternating rows. I just wanted to show you that because all the yarns are attached. Oh, maybe not. Oh, this is the one that's going to be attached because I'm running out of one of the hanks. Let me move this one out of the way and I can show you this one. So basically, and I'm not going to give away the tutorial part of it because that is somebody else's. But what you do is in between your rows is do a row of the green or whatever color. I'm using the green. You do a row of a neutral color or a pop color that's going to be incorporated as little things in there. So that really, because this yarn is busy, it goes from colorway to colorway, as you can see, and which would be fine and gorgeous. Hence I love this yarn. But I thought having this in between each row really pulls it together. So how these work, if you are not familiar, is it's a hexagon. So it has 6 sides. And I'll tell you a little trick that I figured out to remember how many sides the name of things are. Hex ends with an X. 6 sides. 6 ends with an X. Pentagon has 5 sides. You have 5 fingers. You hold a pen with your hand. So you hold a pen with your 5 fingers. So pentagon, 5 sides. Octagon, octopus, 8 legs, and whatever. And that was our geometry lesson for the day. But you put 2 sides together. This is just so fascinating. I'm so fascinated by this. I really feel like I'm going to be making lots of these, and for all different size, little ones and bigger ones, because this is adorable. So basically, if I put it this way, this would be your sleeve, and this will be the body. This is half of the sweater. You make 2, which I'm doing simultaneously, and then attach it along the back. The 2 backs and your front, and then you would attach the top of your sleeve. Of course, the sleeve is going to be huge, so you could either leave it a big sleeve, which is totally cool, which is I believe how Dee did hers, or you could decrease your sleeve a little at a time to make it more like a balloon or bubble, a puffy sleeve, or you can really tighten this and decrease this to the point where it's a poof and then just a straight tight rest of the arm. And any one of those is going to be gorgeous. All right, so yeah, so that's what I've been up to on my Werq It. Again, remember, if you would be so inclined, hey, don't forget the thumbs up and all that. Appreciate that. Thumbs are really super important, and I know I've lost half of you at this point, but I probably should say it more in the beginning. But do consider sending Sophia a postcard for her class. Put a little bit of information about the area that you live. Like if you're out of the country of the U.S., she's in Pennsylvania in U.S. Yeah, I think it'd be really, let's help these kids out. School's been kind of weird, and how fun to get lots of postcards and other things from perfect strangers. What a wonderful way to say, hey, the world's not such a bad place. Not all people are bad. Okay, on that note, and I'm going to get right back to this because I am totally enjoying this, making this, I guess Dee calls it a campfire cardigan. And I'm going to get back to this and see you guys later. Love you all. Be well, be fabulous, and have a yarnolicious day.